again. It's video number 4 or 3 if you count the first intro, the first video as the intro video as a video, then it's 4. But it was really just an intro. So it's actually video number 3. Stay in school, kids. So with customer service, I'm hoping that you're finding more and more solutions from my videos, because that's really all I wanted to put out into the atmosphere, is that there's so much in terms of possibilities when you're talking about other people. And the one thing that customer service jobs really are a way to, it's an interaction with people. So when you're interacting with people on a daily basis, believe it or not, you are actually head and shoulders above everyone else in the scheme of things when you're talking about building relationships, having possibilities, and getting more from a job, because you have nothing but options every day of your life and every minute of every day. Whereas most people that go to jobs that are very personal, they're sitting at a cubicle, they're not interacting with people. It's hard to have a limitless amount of possibilities when you only have this one task and it involves a computer and a phone sometimes. Where you, with a customer service job, having people from all walks of life walking into your world, it opens up so many doors that if you were in any other industry, you would not have these doors open for you. So thinking along those lines just from the get-go, it will put you in a much better place, so that if you're thinking, if no one's ever trained you to be a customer service representative and you just found yourself in the customer service business, you might find yourself frustrated by following the rules. And let's be honest, it's really easy to stay on a script and follow the rules and get in trouble that way. It's called passive aggressive. And I think you all know what that means. And it's taking exactly what your boss wants you to do and following it to the letter so that your customers get frustrated, or at least one or two of them do. And I know for a fact that it's happened in the last 2 months just watching people. And so if you can take what you're going to learn here and start looking at your job as something so amazing and such an unbelievable gift, then you're gonna be less inclined to be passive aggressive and use the business's protocol and list of rules and policies to your disadvantage, because often that's why a lot of reviews get written, when you're so stuck in your head that we shouldn't give away these specialty straws, or we can't split items, when in all honesty, if you were your boss and you were looking at this mammoth amount of rent and the cost of paying all of your employees, if you looked at the splitting of entrees or giving away a specialty straw and said to yourself, if I don't give this straw, I'm going to leave a really bad impression and I'll never get that customer back, would you really get into an argument with a customer over a straw, or splitting entrees, or all the other things that customer service employees often find themselves arguing about? If you put yourself in the position of being the boss with all of this overhead, would you want you to act that way? Or would you want you to act in the way that was going to get that customer to come back? And often customer service employees don't see the big picture, not because they can't or not because they're less smart, intelligent, because no one's ever sat down and said to them, you know, this is a great opportunity, this is a great job, if you're going to do it the right way. If you're not, and if you're just gonna work your $9 hour attitude, then this is gonna be the worst job ever, because people have needs, they have desires, they are, you know, they want specialty straws, they want their entrees split, they have time constraints. So if you're in a business where you're dealing with people, and that's what the customer service business is, then you're going to find yourself miserable following the rules to the letter. Your boss wants you to assist the customers in the way that would get them to come back and talk to their friends about you and about the business. And that's the bottom line. So if you're going to work every day saying, but in the handbook it says this, well, you can be right all day long, but you're also not going to be promoted. So you can be right and say that, you know, we don't split entrees, or you can be customer service friendly, customer forward, and split entrees, get specialty straws, and tell your boss later on that you erred on the side of, you know, getting a customer to come back. And that's the kind of employee that people are going to promote. People are going to have less of a problem with. People aren't going to be scrutinizing you because you want the customers to come back. And that's what a customer service job is. It's not whatever you're doing. It's not selling water or selling men's or women's underwear. It's not selling steak. That's not customer service. It's the customers. Okay, you're not a customer service representative if you don't have any customers. So if you're angry and frustrated and following the rules, you're kind of frustrating yourself, aren't you? I get that sometimes people are ornery and, you know, have unrealistic expectations, but if you're following the letter of the law and just seeing everything in black and white, you're not doing yourself any favors, because you're actually putting yourself behind the line for people that are going to get promoted and bonused and advancement, and you're going to be scratching your head saying, but I followed every rule, this is not fair. It's about the customer. And let's face it, getting back to misunderstandings, if you misunderstand your husband, your sister, your kids, you're gonna misunderstand people who are coming in from the street that you've never met before, and your boss's intention is to stay in business. So if you're misunderstanding people purposefully, you know, by following policies, your boss is never going to look at you and say, wow, there's somebody who really wants to make sure that I can pay the rent, or make sure that this business is thriving in 10 years. He's not going to look at you that way. And let's call a spade a spade. You've been a little passive aggressive. We all have. But if you want to put that on the shelf and become the customer service extraordinaire person that you can be, all you have to do is start thinking like your boss. Like, you actually pay for this huge building. I mean, you don't think about it when you walk in. You're just looking for your locker. But take 2 seconds to walk in and say, I wonder what the rent is here. I wonder how many bottles of water my boss has to anticipate selling in order to pay the rent and me. And then when you look at that customer who wants a specific straw, you're not going to be so inclined to say, no, in the policy handbook it says this straw goes with this meal or drink. You have so much going for you, but sometimes if no one's taken the opportunity to sit you down and say, look, you have a lot going for you, but if you follow these rules every single time, you might not be doing what's best for you. Okay, so there's something to think about. On to the next video, which is not going to be a lecture at all. I'm sure you're amazing at what you do, and you're just going to get better and better and better. But let's be honest, sometimes people haven't sat down and said, everything is a gray area. Try your best to follow these policies. But when it comes right down to it, the big picture is making sure that customer comes back. And you can do it. You can make sure that they come back every single time. I can tell you how to make sure that they come back every day. But you have to watch the next video. You can do it. See you next time. Bye.